Hello and welcome to the Blue Monday podcast. This is a 3 times weekly show looking into the exciting happenings of Ipswich Town Football Club, available on video and podcast. My name is Benjamin Bloom and I'll be here each and every Monday for this, the flagship show, with ITFC aficionado David Diamond for a sometimes irreverent but always informative hour of football conversation. Make your Monday a Blue Monday. You chewing?
No, just had dinner, so I've just got a bit of probably broccoli in my teeth or something.
Tender steam. I need to debunk. Last week before we came on, Dave,
Yeah.
I did, just setting the scene. I was probably waiting for you. You're probably late or something. I took a picture of the podcast corner and someone said, "Is that lube and tissues?" So, where is it? Can you see that?
I can.
That's like perfume. It's my fragrance. I put
man fragrance.
Dave, 1 squirt per day for the amount that costs.
Really? Is that all you allow yourself?
Lasts me about 4 years. That does. You don't want
1 squirt per day. Yeah,
I once had a piano student. I shouldn't say her name. Complained about my
BO.
No, not my BO. Could you not wear that fragrance? It sets my allergies off.
Oh shoot! No, that's not good.
Don't stand so close.
So you're quite frugal. Yeah, that's where it comes from. Don't stand so close to me. And going back, when you said, "Are you chewing?" you did sound like your teacher. That's a teacher coming out in you.
The headmaster at the school I work at admonished me when I first went in there. I was chewing. Went to work there, and he literally held the bin out. He has a no chewing rule. The teachers can't chew.
Quite right too. What example is that to set for impressionable youngsters?
Well, speaking of impressionable youngsters, how am I going to do this link? Speaking of impressionable youngsters, the youngsters at Ipswich, especially in the centre midfield positions, Dave, will be very pleased that former Bristol City midfielder Cole Skewes has signed a new contract.
Good link. Tenuous.
Awful. Dreadful.
Tenuous.
Until the end of the 2019-2020 season. That makes me feel old. With an option for a further year, Dave, which would take him to his 35th birthday. What are your thoughts on this signing?
No great surprise. And to be perfectly honest, he hasn't had a bad season
this season, I would say.
I think, yes, I'd agree. I think he was much maligned last season, but I think that was perhaps when he was paired up with his alter ego, Dougie.
He was quite pants in a 4-4-2 receiving the ball, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, which reminds me of yesterday. Anyway, yeah, he was. Yeah, but no, I mean, it's on the card. I think he's taking his coaching badges. So I heard him being interviewed, I think, on Radio Suffolk, and it seems like there may be a little bit similar, and maybe some sort of, I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, some sort of coaching pathway, perhaps for him within the club.
Well, we always say he is one of the most smartest on pitch performers. He doesn't get caught. He doesn't make many mistakes, does he?
And he's a good pro, isn't he? I'm sure he's like a model pro, isn't he?
Which would make you think that the players that can read the game become good managers. The players that do it all off the cuff, like your favourite player ever, Darren Curry, he probably doesn't prepare, does it, whatever. Right. I'll decide what I do with the ball when I get it. They're probably not going to be managers.
Yeah, I'm not sure Pablo would have made a good manager either. But my favourite player of all time, as we know, well documented, is Glenn Hoddle, and I'm sure he was about to be he was a wonderful England manager, but he went a bit silly.
You've debunked me there, Dave. He was a brilliant manager.
I thought I had to. Yeah, it went a bit silly with him, but let's not dwell on that. No, it was always going to be offered terms, Cole Skewes. So yeah,
we just went from Glenn Hoddle to Cole Skewes.
No. Well, that's where we started. How have I done that? But and I could see him, sitting in the centre mid with a Dazelle sitting alongside him and a Flynn Downs sitting beside him. Yeah, I haven't got a problem with that.
You like that, Dave? Dean Gherkin will be out for the season after having surgery on his hip. Right.
Yeah.
Listen to this hypothesis. Dean Gherkin is Ipswich's Player of the Year. Right. Clean sheet at Luton. Yeah. He's played 3 games.
Okay.
Mentored all those back 4 at Crystal Palace. Clean sheet against Leeds.
No, I'm not having that. But good. He's had a great season. And will probably poll more votes than a few might who have played far more games.
I'm putting out there Dean Gherkin for Player of the Year.
Yeah, it's going to be Bart again, I'm afraid.
Oh, it actually is, isn't it?
Comfortably.
Oh dear. Dave, on Tuesday, Paul Heckingbottom was appointed as Leeds
Wow.
United manager,
Wow. Wow.
leaving
Wow.
a vacant manager's job at Barnsley. Mick
Yeah.
McCarthy then goes from 20-1 to 8-11 in the
It's on, yeah.
betting. In his press conference, well, he loves the attention, doesn't he? He says there's nothing in it. What are your thoughts on the Barnsley position, Dave?
Again, I just read sort of one or two comments from his press. Got another stupid comment. He said, "Yeah, I was feeling tired because I had a long journey back." He didn't actually say Barnsley, but he said, "Oh, long journey back from." Did he say up north? I don't know. The night before. And then what did he say? We'll still be at town for now, barring a ridiculous offer from Man City or similar. I thought actually Guardiola looked like he's under a lot of pressure yesterday after Aguero's 4 in that game against
Did
Leicester.
they win like 8-0 again?
5-1.
Yeah.
5-1. You don't pay any attention to it, I know. Mate, I don't know. I just think we've said it before. He just likes to annoy and agitate. I think now. I think he's just stir the pot. I just think it's got beyond a joke really now, and you just can't take his press conferences. Well, they're not serious. Let's face it, are they? They're just another comment to wind up the fans.
Do you know where he went after his press conference, Dave?
Go on, Ben.
Millwall, because I saw him.
Did you see him there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that must be
on the way home.
One of his closest.
We're on our way home. We're going home. Dung dung dung. Two of us, Beatles. Two of us. Let It Be. The live album thing with Phil Spector.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah. I'll take your word for that. Yeah, he's Bromley, isn't he? So I guess that made sense for him to be there. Did you have another plush seat then?
Always. You always get a plush seat at Millwall, can't you?
Yeah. Well, we'll get on to Millwall because you've had some positive and some negative feedback on it.
Well, the world's most popular YouTuber, yeah.
Particularly the one from what appeared to be Danny Dyer.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the one today?
Was that one that called you boring?
Yes. There's an even better one.
That's gonna be great. That's gonna be my favourite.
Have you ever seen the Jimmy Kimmel thing? I know I'm not a celeb, but have you ever seen the Jimmy Kimmel thing? Celebs read mean tweets about themselves.
And I know Jimmy Kimmel, but no, I haven't.
They get celebrities to read out the tweets. And
okay.
I've now got enough YouTube.
Oh, you said
YouTube
I saw.
Comments,
I see what you mean when you said you've got enough YouTube hate to do that stuff. Yeah, no, it was genuine. I mean, no, the feedback was brilliant. Actually, genuinely positive, wasn't it? It's all positive, actually, barring one or two nasty comments. But hey,
are you ready?
You have to take the rough with a smooth, mate. As we all do.
You do.
Good link.
Are you ready? Are you ready to go to Ipswich Town v Burton Albion? Are you up for this, Dave?
Take me there. Take me back.
Take me back to Chicago.
Well,
I'm just going to sing that. Hey, Dave, what David Bowie album cover is this?
Aladdin Sane.
That's Heroes. He's doing that on the front. That's not. If you're not watching on YouTube, that wouldn't have been entertaining at all.
No, that would have been rubbish.
Okay, Dave. So the team from the 2-0 victory over Sunderland had one change. So Selina came back in for dear old Freddie Sears. Bart in goal. I know since we've done the new headsets, we're avoiding doing a Spence, aren't we? Because the mics get a bit close. Can you do a Spence for us, please?
I can't.
Why not?
Spence.
do you don't like him anymore?
After yesterday, he don't justify it.
Okay, I'll try and do one. I'm not really good at this. Okay.
I'll do it. Spence. That's it.
Spence at right back.
Yeah.
Chambers and Carter Vickers were centre backs. Jonas Knudsen left back. Skews and Connolly holding in midfield. Ward to the right. Selina to the left. Waghorn off Garner. Burton also played a 4-2-3-1. And I've watched football with Dave, who would have been apoplectic about the fullbacks, the left fullback being number 2 and the right fullback being number 10. That would have annoyed you, wouldn't it, Dave? So
immensely.
Bywater in goal. The aforementioned Brayford and Akins were the fullbacks, with McFadzean and who's the other centre back?
Whitehead. I wish it had been Whitehead, McFadzean and Whitehead. That'd have been classic. Does that mean
I don't know what that means. I'm going to move on. Davenport and Allen in midfield, with Dyer off to the left. When he got out there. Samuelson off to the right. Akpan off. Former Ipswich Town player Darren Bent.
Yes. DB.
Yeah, I wasn't pleased to see him after his patronising goal celebration. Although
That's-
our listeners were a bit divided on that. They thought I was a bit harsh on him
Yeah,
last
they
year.
did. I thought you were. I thought you were a bit harsh.
Yeah, that can happen, can't it?
Mm,
That's why all of YouTube hates me.
mm.
Burton start well, Dave. They force a corner. Handball shout. Knudsen blocks Samuelson's cross. Samuelson with a poor long ranger. And I wrote down a comment in my book on 5 minutes to say Burton have had 90% possession for the first 5 minutes, thinking, oh, I'll need to record this for when when it's like in Ipswich's favour. But so
Yeah.
hold that for. Run
Yeah.
forward from Akins, Dave. Good touch. Switch to the right. Dyer comes in off the left. Curls one. Good position, but not a great shot.
So hang on, can I stop you there? Did really all this happen in the first half?
That was on 12. Then I've got nothing until my quarterly analysis, which says that it says here no argument. Burton bet aside. Ipswich not in game at all.
It's just ridiculous. They just dominated us. Absolutely dominated the ball.
Well, let's go on. 24th
Well,
minute, Dyer with a yellow for a pullback on Ward.
Yeah.
Samuelson shoots well over, so Burton not really forcing any good chances yet. So wait for the second half of that. Burton counter, work into a good spot. Davenport shoots, and nice block by Carter Vickers, who looked pretty useful yesterday, I thought. Bent charges down a Chambers clearance, puts Burton in an attacking spot again. Davenport shoots over. And Dave, we're 11 minutes into the podcast, and we're at half time. What are your thoughts on
Which
that?
is dreadful. It was horrible, wasn't it? It was a horrible game of football. I was watching that. I mean, not just us. That McFadden just. Yeah, I think first half I saw him take. Yeah, 2 free kicks. He just kicked them out of play. he just hoofed them out of play. It was almost like rugby. He was almost kicking for. Do you know rugby? You know they kick for touch to gain yards. It was almost like that. It was dreadful. Awful.
In the interest of fairness,
man, we were just as.
Well, Dave, I got a bit of stick for saying I didn't think this game was that terrible. Can I just justify my opinion? When I saw Ipswich v Bolton and last year Ipswich v QPR, both teams were awful and neither executed their game plan. I actually thought Burton probably followed all their instructions and executed their game plan quite well. Do you not agree?
Good point. I didn't go to the Preston game because I was out with me. That was like the week after I had my accident with my arm. And Kieran, my youngest, who I sat with yesterday, said that, Dad, this is horrific, but believe me, it's not as bad as the first half against Preston. Albeit Waghorn scored a free kick in the 45th minute, didn't he? He said, honestly, Dad, it isn't as bad as that. I didn't see the Preston game, so I couldn't comment, but it was poor, man. It was poor.
We were hopeless.
There was one shining light for me in the whole game, first half and second half. What a lovely player that Davenport is in their midfield. What a player.
Well, I as soon as when I got back to my car to do my video, I was like, oh, Dave will pull him out as their best player.
Mate, he's head and shoulders above everything else on the pitch.
49th minute. Ipswich had a kind of reasonable start to the second half. Ward gets forward well, kind of force a corner, and Selina gets a volley blocked out at the far post. I'm trying to work out whether this was a bad kick by Bart. I don't think it was, but it kind of skews off to the side. Good header by Brayford, and then you've got Bent and Carter Vickers in a foot race, and Bent does really well because he just gets his body in front, so Carter Vickers
got some pace. He still showed a bit of pace, and he's strong. I mean, he's bigger than he was when he used to be with his sort of foot. He has filled out a lot. Mind you, I'm talking 15 years ago, or whatever it was. No, 14, 13, whatever it was. Still showed a bit of pace. Good save from Bart. He probably should have scored. He should have got it perhaps more in the corner, maybe, because he opened himself up, did the right thing. Good save from Bart. And
very good. Stands
typical
up.
Bart. First thing he had to do, wasn't it? First thing
with his left foot. I recall a few games ago he did a one-on-one. It was against what was the game? Was it Wolves where he has to square it back, and Bart just stands up. Really, he squared it behind him, wasn't it? Again,
it was
in the Wolves game.
Yeah, he stood up well. Yeah.
But we get bored of praising Bart because he's ever so consistent. Bent has a swivel and shot on 57. I suppose one reasonable positive in amongst the detritus, is that Mick actually made an early move on the subs for once.
Two of them, yep.
It didn't work, but were you a bit disappointed to see them being like for like changes and not system changes, because he put Gleeson in for Connolly presumably to keep the ball better, and he put Carayal in for Ward presumably for a bit of.
Ward was dreadful. I was past Karen by that time, Ben. He made the two honestly, he made the two changes. I didn't think Connolly played a particularly bad game. I think he just shook it up really. I was past caring. I'd like to see Carriel, and well, we'll get on to Carriel.
Yeah. So Carriel wins a free kick with his first attempt, and I did one of those fabled football supporter things where I said, right, they're going to tap this to the left. Waghorn's going to smash it towards goal, and it's going to go out for a goal kick, and that's exactly what happened. Chambers trying the Bruce Lee Jackie Chan karate.
Not sure how far he was away from that, but it wasn't a lot of subtlety in that. I think it was one of those Waghorn couldn't give a toss type. What going to happen is whatever happens, as hard as I can.
Might bounce in and I'll run away looking really cool. Yeah. Boyce comes in for Bent on 70. Brayford has one deflected out for a corner. Nice bit of play here by Carayal on 79. He comes in off the right and proves to have a pretty tasty left foot as well.
I thought that was in actually, because he was at full stretch. What could have been? I think it just, they said shape the side net, and I thought from where I was, I thought that was perhaps in, because Bywater really extended himself to go for that one, but no, just wide. And I thought he made a difference, not a difference, but at least he showed, a couple of times he burst between, I think you already mentioned the first free kick, he sort of burst between a couple of defenders, and he looks like he's got a trick in him. And I thought he was at the outfield. Yes, I thought he was the one. His 20 minutes, 25 was the one sort of bright spot when he got on the ball.
Yeah, doesn't count as a shot on goal though, because it was side netting. We need to wait another 5 minutes for one of those.
Oh yeah.
Sordell comes in for Dyer on 80. Waghorn corner. Carter Vickers right at the top of his jump, couldn't really control the header. Here we go, Dave. 84th minute, flicked onto Selena. Shifts it to the right, and
deep roller.
But it's a shot on target on 84 minutes. There you go. Good break by Akpan here. He goes in between Skews and Carter Vickers, and Skews takes responsibility at the end. He is the last man when he blocks him out for the shot there. 89th minute here. Burton actually had, because what I said in my YouTube video is that probably for half of the second half, Ipswich were just the better side, but towards the end of the game, Burton were.
No. Burton had the chances.
Burton were on top there.
Yeah.
And Dave, you had a good view of this. Was this McFadzean or was it Chambers who touched this?
I think it was McFadzean got the first touch and a little flick off Chambers. Hell of a save, just reaction again. And
the thing is, you see a lot of these where the keeper stoops backwards and the ball goes up into the roof of the net, and the guy runs, but he's so strong pushing.
No, it was a sort of quick corner. McFadzean got a touch. Then I think it touched Chambers, and then just reaction save. And apparently he was watched by the Polish manager yesterday.
Oh, that's great news. Yeah. So
who I read today had sort of spoke to him afterwards and stuff. So yeah, that'd be great and fully deserved. He's been so consistent, as he's brilliant.
He has. Well, what went wrong?
Fullbacks were dreadful. The distribution from the fullbacks yesterday was shocking. I think we mentioned this last week, that they said on Suffolk that Knudsen had a bit of a shocker distribution-wise at Sunderland. I thought he had a terrible game yesterday. And Spence was awful. 3 times I counted when it's just a lack of confidence. 3 times I counted where the ball was coming towards him and he had time to get the ball down, relax, and he went to head it. Twice he headed it to them. Once he headed it out for a throw. Just no confidence at all. We never once got the ball into. Garner was being dominated. Again, it's another one of these games. Garner was being dominated by McFadzean. He's a unit, and the other centre back. They're no shrinking violets. So he was being dominated. And if that doesn't happen, we just don't get the ball in the feet around the box. We just don't get the ball. So there was just no football yesterday. None at all.
I think the really annoying thing is, Dave, is so all the Burton tactic was when you do 4-2-3-1, if you do it really narrow when you're defending, you can really scut up the midfield, okay?
Yeah.
And Burton, obviously, and if anyone watched this, they'll all do the same, didn't press the Ipswich back four. And some defenders would be like, oh, great, I can have some time on the ball. I can.
Who am I going to give it to? Oh, knock it square. Yeah.
But yeah, the quality of the possession from the Ipswich back four, the better passes, Skews and Connolly, and the wide guys were nullified
Nullified.
by 2 and then 3, all ever so narrow.
When Garner is very noticeable to me. So I thought it was a big lack of confidence in the players, and it wasn't particularly. Let's face it, it wasn't the crowd, because there's only 13,800 there yesterday. But when Garner is dominated, so when he, usually we've seen him this season bully centre backs. We've seen it, the good games, Sunderland, Reading, him bullying. So when he bullies centre backs, the ball's played up to him. He inevitably wins the ball, and we win the second ball and play from there. That's our play. But when he doesn't, we don't win the second ball, and we haven't got a plan B. We haven't got players good enough. Well, certainly good enough or confident enough yesterday to do anything different. Not once. This is what annoyed me. Not once do we, to Garner show and the midfield get the ball, play it into his feet, edge of the box, and run off him. Just didn't happen at all. It was bad. It was really bad. Selena was pretty anonymous. He had a go early on, but pretty anonymous, really. I just don't know what to say. Waghorn looks like he's lost confidence. There's not a lot else to say, Ben. It was just really, really poor. Really poor. Against the side, lost 5 on the spin. Admittedly, they are better away. Their away results are a lot. They got, I think, just double points away than they have at home, but it's not saying that much. They only got like 24, 25 points. It was very, very bad. Dave, change the last thing.
And the challenge is against that is, can you pick out a good long direct ball, or can you go around? Can you get your fullback forward and go around the sides of it, or
fullbacks weren't good enough?
Or play? No, they weren't. That was abundantly clear, wasn't it? And I know I get a bit of stick for my burgeoning Millwall fanship, but is this not a day? Just put Waghorn up front. Miss the midfield out and
do whatever.
Try and get really direct wide, or really cluster the fullback with.
I seem to think.
I
seem to think the Burton game. I seem to think the Burton game last year at home was quite similar. We won 2-0, but nicked it really. I think they had far better. I think Dyer, I remember missing a real sitter before we'd scored. I think we nicked it last year. And for what I remember, perhaps a fairly similar game, but we nicked a couple of chances. I think Sears scored, for Christ's sake. We nicked a couple of chances and got a couple of goals, but it was just bad. Jesus, a team. I just can't keep going back to it. One shot on target, which the keeper, as the old expression, could have thrown his hat on with 5 minutes to go.
Well, I found myself saying, Dave, in the first half, Ipswich should actually benefit from Burton scoring. Do you know what I mean? For them actually getting a goal, and
really,
that's what I thought. I thought that would be the rocket they needed.
I tend to think. Do you know what? You've seen a lot more away matches. I've seen 1 or 2 this season. You've seen a lot more away matches, and I know you harp on about it, but I just generally think the way he sets a team up and stuff, we are generally better to play away against a team that tends to come onto us. And again, at Portman Road, those teams that have come onto us, like Forest, like to get Reading, Leeds, teams like that, who we've beaten. Okay, Leeds is only 1-0, but really comfortably, really quite easily, because we like it when teams come on. Tactically, Clough had it. You're dead right. Tactically, Clough had it spot on, and I think he had it spot on after the game as well, and said, 2 points drop really, because we dominated the game and had clear-cut chances. Well. Yeah. He should have done. Yeah, he should have done.
Dave, can I be?
I don't know where you go with that. I don't know where you go, but all I do know is that Josh Emmanuel, and I didn't really realise yesterday, I only realised Rotherham have been on a hell of a 12-game unbeaten run since early December, which almost coincided with Moore getting suspended and going. He's been ever present in that back four. He's having a hell of a season there. Mate, you're not telling me he's not a better bet than Spence.
Oh, Dave, you really have turned, haven't you?
Well, honestly, mate, after yesterday, I was high on Spence. I was quite big on Spence, but I'm beginning to see it, mate. It was just so bad, dreadful. I can't really say too much about it.
Can I be really positive and then really negative at the same time?
I thought you can be positive in that, man. Go on.
I thought Carayel was good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I'll give you that.
Can I be really really negative and say there's been a complaint about Mick, about Sears coming and being really pacey and exciting, and then tailing off the longer he's with Mick. Ward coming and scoring a hat trick. Is this going to be another example of a player coming with with a bit of flair, a bit of freedom, and then
I don't know if it can, because I'm not sure he's an adaptable player. I think Carayol is an out and out wide man winger. I don't think you can play him anywhere else, and I don't think he'll try to play him anywhere else. So in that respect, I don't think he will ruin. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't think he will ruin him. It's not like Sears.
Every time he
It's
got
not
the
like
ball,
Sears
Dave,
played.
he
It's
tried
not like
to
Sears.
take the guy on every time.
Yeah, I love
didn't
it.
he?
Loved it. No, he was the one bright spot for me. Yeah, it probably missed. And I know we haven't been eyeing him lately, but probably did miss someone like McGoldrick yesterday, who perhaps can put his foot on the ball
And Dave,
can thread a pass. Perhaps it was yesterday.
but Dave, the other change, get a second guy up front. Also, who's your best passer of your whole defenders is Adam Webster, isn't it? You know, he could have, if he'd have been really brave, he could have, right, okay, we're going to go 3 at the back and we're going to make Webster the spare man.
Focal point, yeah.
Yeah, at the back, and we'll actually play out from him. And, you know, you've said he can ping long balls left foot, right foot. I just thought a change of shape or a change of emphasis was what was needed yesterday.
It's a good point you make. Yeah, I didn't really think a lot about it. I just thought, oh, great, he's making 2 subs. Let's give it a lift. But yeah, you were right. They were pretty much like for like. Ward was poor yesterday, but I think he was poor because Spence was awful, really awful. And some of the service he got on the balls he got were just, I mean, I saw it first half right in front of us, just horrible.
Yeah. Dave, am I right to be positive about, since Carter Vickers has come in, there's been 4 games. They conceded 1 against Bolton, 1 against Wolves, and the other 2 have been clean sheets.
He's a good player. He's solid, isn't he? Good player.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is very good. I mean, he's never going to be our player. I know he's fairly well, so we understand he's really well thought of at Spurs, so he's never going to be our player. And it does grieve me somewhat that, but then how fit is Webster? All right, he's fit enough to be on the bench yesterday, but how, is the manager thinking, well, okay, he'll come back in, but with his ankle or whatever it was, he's only going to be good for perhaps a couple of games, and he may need another rest. So it's a tricky one. Yeah, good footballer, mate. Good, strong player. Likes to get the ball. And again, Carter Vickers, I think, as a player there, likes to get the ball down and.
But Dave, we'll talk about the Norwich game at the end of the pod. But one vague positive is, whether you like it or not, we're fairly tight with that. With Bart, back 4 and then the 2 in front, there is some chance of a clean sheet.
Yes, there are, and the only sort of a positive thing we can get from that game yesterday is we can't be that bad, do we?
Well, and I don't want to steal any of the tweeters' thunder, but every time we're depressed, he goes and wins an away game 1-0.
Oh, he does it, doesn't he? Yeah. And we take. I mean, you take something as long as we get something for the game. Don't lose that, because tell you what, if we lose badly next week, my goodness me,
not going to be.
It's Cardiff coming up the following Wednesday, isn't it?
Can we just give Burton some credit? They get no
organised.
They get no gate money. They're loaning players from Derby. All their best players get pilfered straight away. They're bottom of the league. I thought they had a weaker first 11 than us, and they were the better side.
And the kid I know he's not their player, Man City player. What a player! Just loved him, and you said it, he got his head up, looked to move the ball left to right, looked to play the ball forward, always there, like a good player on the half turn, ready to receive the ball. I thought second half especially, I thought he's superb actually.
Played a lot of good first time passes as well.
Boston midfield, what a little player, 19, bloody hell, but
Andre Giselle can damn well do that. He can, yeah.
Yes, well, let's hope he comes back. Fighting fit. And again, you hark back to it, and people have, you read so much on the forums and stuff from yesterday and the fallout from yesterday, but. It's if and if, innit? If we had Hughes, if we had Dezelle, if we had, I don't know who else is, Adiemi fit for that. Who knows? I don't know. The one thing I would say about McCarthy, and I'm talking to some guys who sit near us every week and sort of, talking about the state of the nation type thing. To be perfectly honest to him, he never, not really, I haven't seen him ever really say, look at my injured players. He doesn't really bring that into equation much, in fairness to him, does he?
There was a game a few weeks ago where everyone universally thought we were bad, and he came out and said that's a good performance. If he'd have yesterday said, I was happy with the clean sheet and I thought my players acquitted themselves, he came out yesterday and he buried them, didn't he?
Horrible game, worst of the season. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know, where does it leave us? He praised Bart, Carriel. but can he stay? He can't. I mean, they still develop week on, week out. But you see the game like that yesterday, and you see the fans' reactions and everything else that goes with it, and the crowd. The crowd's diminishing even further. I just, and given what he said in the press conference, he surely can't stay. The owner can't. Surely the owner's got to move on, because if he stays, well, it's more lost revenue because there's going to be less season tickets. So the owner's going to have to, let's just do the math. The owner's going to have to put even more money in. Is that not how it works? I don't know, mate. I've another comment here. 2 goals in the last 6 home games. Yes, we're tight, but come on, it's not great.
I think with the McCarthy thing, Dave,
Ah.
the longer this under-23 guy is caretaker manager for Barnsley, but the thing is, if I'm Barnsley,
Do you think they're waiting? Mate, Barnsley
they could get relegated. Yeah, they need it. But they might do a Birmingham thing where they offer someone £250,000 to
what Harry?
keep us up.
Red Adair type thing.
Right, Dave.
Mick McCarthy's quite good at that, anyway.
He'd be the ideal guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Dave, we do the tweets after the other bits, so we'll go straight to the roundup. And Wolves bashing away at the top there, only winning by 1, but they keep winning.
Coasting, yeah. I think QPR had a real go, according to even old Nuno said they had a real go, a real scare second half, but no, they held on, and yeah.
I'm going to need your help with this, Dave. How did Villa and Birmingham go?
2-0, Adoma 60, hoorah, ridiculous dipping strike on 81.
Villa are second now.
7th win on the trot, and up the automatic for the first time. So
I
second.
hate to say I told you so to those Derby fans, but is Mr. Rowett going to be too many draws, too conservative?
Hate to say I told you so. It's the Hives, isn't
That's
it?
a great song, isn't it?
Hate to say I told you so. Ding, ding, ding,
They
ding.
do an amazing bit in their set where they just freeze on stage
They're
for like a minute and a half.
I don't know you like the Hives. I love the Hives.
Someone goes, you've got to look up a song. When we were in the band, we used to listen to it.
Main Offender.
Rule the world, GHI. I can forget what it's called. Great Hive song.
Okay,
anyway.
Yeah, I've got the Hives. I've got the download.
So that means Derby are down to third.
Derby down to third after annoying Norwich. He got a point there yesterday. Good point. Apparently they
annoying
dominate.
Norwich, Dave. I am terrified of James Maddison. Utterly terrified.
I'll do his stat. His stats are ridiculous.
No, I don't want to.
Well, we will at the end because we'll do this. I will at the end, but yeah, Vidra, great goal by Vidra, turn left foot, and then a bit of a dodgy bit of it. You could have sent him off, couldn't he, for simulation? But apparently the linesman gave it for said that Carson had tripped Maddison. So comedy penalty actually. Carson gave Oliveira the side, gave him stood 3/4 of the way that side, and outthought him, and that's where he put it. And then Maddison, quality penalty. Fifth of Norwich dominated that game, mate, 59%. So at Derby, that's pretty decent. Although Rowett said they're a bit off the ball, but at least they didn't win.
Let's go to Millwall 1.
Yeah, Ben, let's go there.
Yeah. Can I just say, on Friday night, I saw a game with a pressing team who did everything quickly and determinedly, with a real system, with the fans behind them chanting the manager's name, energy in the ground.
That's the key, Ben. How many people were there?
13,000. But exactly the same.
Yeah, but they shout all the way through. I mean, then they get behind the team. Love the manager. I think we said last week. I think Harris is their record. I think he's their record goal scorer. So he's a legend at Millwall. Love him.
That means we can't get him at the end of the season.
But you know what I'm saying. Get behind the manager, get behind the team, and it just gives everyone a lift. But while we're seeing that dross at Portman Road, it's not going to happen, is it? But good goal by Hoylett. Lovely goal by Hoylett.
I've really enjoyed. I've been to the last 3 Millwall games. It's just the way it's worked out with living in London, and the other one was.
You like the song when they scored, don't you?
The other one was at Reading, and I've really enjoyed watching them. That's what I'll say. And I've been to 25, 30 Ipswich games this year, and I've enjoyed watching Ipswich, but it was the feel of it was chalk and cheese. Although Mr. Warnock did get completely diddled. There was a goal disallowed where he should have let the play run. But I tell you
goal by Hoylett, and a good goal from Gregory's good player, isn't he?
I'll be able to give you a good preview of the Millwall game. That's a hard game at Portman Road. Mick will probably like it.
Who stood out for you for Millwall?
Wallace, Gregory. Saville and Morrison, really.
Usual,
Yeah.
usual
Oh, and
suspects.
the left back Meredith played Mendes Lang, excellent. But anyway, this is not a Millwall podcast.
Oh, Millwall love it, Ben.
Bolton won, Fulham won.
Yeah.
Bit of a
Whoa.
bit. Did you see the Kevin Lisby-esque goal by
Whoa, Lafondra. Whoa,
by
great
Lafondra?
goal.
Great strike.
Dipping volley. Yeah, great goal.
Well, what on earth was this Bristol City Sunderland game about? I mean, I'm not the biggest Lee Johnson fan, but how did he manage to?
They were coasting us. So 3 up. Flynn, Giju got a couple, and then they're still banging away like 70 minutes. I think Brownhill own goal. Then McGeady got one, and then oh mate, Fielding. Did you see the highlights last night? Have you seen the highlights?
I've seen the highlights.
Save
Yeah.
Fielding made from Fletcher.
I was a bit annoyed with that because he shouldn't have had to make the save. He should have caught the first one easily.
Wow. But
He had soft hands on the first one. It was actually a mistake that he even had to even gave Fletcher a chance. I was annoyed with that commentary actually. I was like, he's like, oh, that's world class. No, it's not. World class goalkeeper would have just caught the first one.
Okay.
The first one, Dave, watch that again. The first one wasn't hard. The second one's a great save, but
second one's an incredible save. I'm sorry,
save.
but I'll take the point. The point.
We've had this discussion before about keepers. Who's the better keeper? The one who instructs his left fullback to get out and stop the cross before the cross comes in and doesn't have to make the save, or the one that doesn't see it, the cross comes in and has to make the save? Who's the better keeper?
Good point. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
And anyway, another own goal. And Sunderland fans, thought it's quite fun. I read somewhere today, are calling it Bristambul after the Liverpool Milan, which made me smile. Carry on.
Carry on. Brentford won.
Carry on.
Preston won. I don't really have anything to say about that, though.
It's still there. 49 points, just 3 points away. Good away point at
Dave, they
Brentford.
are inferior to the playoff teams, though, aren't they?
Oh no, I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The teams are 6, but you'd say they're punching above. He's doing a good job there. And crikey, 10 million. I guess they haven't spent much of the 10 million they got for.
Well, if he gets to spend it, they'll be looking forward to next season. Yeah,
absolutely. He's done well with them.
Dave, you know that they'll do Garner Waghorn type signings, won't they? They won't sign They won't sign Sone Aluko for 7 million, will they?
No, that wasn't inspired, was it?
Sheffield United 2, Leeds 1. Did I see Jamie Clapham with Paul Heckingbottom?
He's gone as his assistant. He's gone as his assistant. Yeah.
Did Billy Sharp's goal remind you of the Zidane one in Hampden Park?
Sort of. It was great technique.
Swinging around at it from the right foot.
Zidane's, though, was ridiculous because it came from higher and it was left foot.
It's all about the moment as well. It was in a Champions League final. But
but still a big second minute in, big derby. Yeah, great finish. That was his. I was reading the day. It was his 200th goal.
Amazing. That's
prolific.
That's fantastic. And I'll tell you what, Dave, it's loud in there, Sheffield United.
Yeah, when they get going. Yeah. Really. I didn't notice. I'd have thought it would have been 20 odd in there. I don't know what it was, but
yeah. Oh no, they're very very often full there.
Yeah.
Borough 2. I can do it this week. Whoop whoop! It's the sound of the police.
Yeah.
Reaction. Uncomfortable laughing. So Reading lose again. Middlesbrough 2-1. Yeah.
Just one win in 11, 4 points above the drop. Chris Martin scored. I missed that one. Chris Martin was on loan at Reading. Completely missed that. Only 4 points above the drop and 1 win in 11. Stam's got to be on shaky ground, isn't he?
Forest 0, Hull 2. Did you see Nigel Adkins?
I didn't.
No, he can't be relegated. I need him in my life.
Oh, what you mean? Oh, yeah.
Great win.
Was he good value? Great win, huge win, yeah. Forest, fifth straight. I mean, it's not going. Fifth straight defeat at home. Not scored in 7 of the last 8, and they were a bit like us early season. They don't draw many. They lost 18 out of 31 games, which is equal with Burton. Good win for Hull out of bottom 3 after that. Very good.
Ouch. Barnsley won, Wednesday won. Sheffield Wednesday, terrible. Have you seen where they are in the league?
They're 17th. Yeah, awful. 34 points. Yeah, and even got. Do you see who took the penalty? Our friend.
Oh.
Andre the Giant.
Good feat for a big man, as the cliche goes, Dave.
Yeah, great goal from. I think he's on loan from Swansea from McBurney for Barnsley. Although I think the Sheffield Wednesday defence parted like the Red Sea a bit.
McBurney in, but yeah, going to be very interesting to watch what the Barnsley guys do with regards.
Barnsley.
Yeah, with regards.
Well, I tell you what, Ben. I think they need to act quickly. There's 1 win in 16 games, and they're now 3rd from bottom.
So they're below the line, are they? Eek. We're going to extrapolate, Dave, and I always seem to start by saying Ipswich remain in 12th position.
You do?
They now have 44 points from 31 games, 1.419, projects you 65.29 for the season. And the rest of it's a bit boring because we haven't scored this week.
No.
Your minutes, guys, are all the same because Barton, Knudsen, Garner, Chambers, Skews played all the games. The goals are all the same. Garner, Waghorn 10, McGoldrick, Selina 8.
Sounds like David Brent appraisal. It's always the same.
Always the same. It's 12 plays. Always the same.
Same answer. Always the same.
1.4. Always the same.
The strengths you've put accounts.
That's kind of your job, Keith. Assists, no change here. Knudsen 7, Waghorn 7, Ward 5, McGoldrick 4. Dave, we're going to go to the tweets. My question was, you sit back and give me your comments at the end. I put thoughts on Burton and expectations for Norwich. Paul says, yesterday was crap, and the only prediction I will make is that Peter Coupland won't be getting a Christmas card from Ben this year. Peter was the man who called me a very boring see you next Tuesday on YouTube, so he gets some coverage.
Not the one that wanted to give you a slap.
Oh, one of them called me a melt. Yeah.
That's Danny Dyer. That's Danny. Yeah.
Mullet says, as bad as the reverse fixture and then got worse. Plenty of individuals put in below par shifts. Even the pitch has gone under Evans. He needs to see he is killing ITFC as is. Nodge will be a dogfight and probably yet another draw. Set pieces crucial next week. Slower ball. This is funny. Norwich, like a German vegetarian, I fear the worst. Unbelievable. Should we just stop there? He's won. He's won.
Yeah, brilliant.
Would I take a draw now to save face in the hope of not getting duffed 3-0? Yes, I would, which is a sad state of affairs. If you look up the phrase mid-table mediocrity, there's a picture of Mick McCarthy with his arms folded. Ian at ITFC Clan. Thoughts of game unrepeatable. In summary, one of the worst games I've ever sat through. I wasn't the only one. I witnessed people leaving at half-time. I think they were the lucky ones. They didn't waste another 45 minutes of their life. Expectations for Norwich, lower than a snake's belly. Ipswich Steve, as for yesterday, tweeted that the first 45 was the worst 45 minutes of football I've ever seen and still stand by that today. Mick got tactics badly wrong, but the players were pathetic too, to be fair. Didn't look like many were playing for Mick yesterday, in my opinion. Our friends at Ipswich Town Bible, Dave, follow them at ITFC_Bible. Yesterday was truly dire. Honestly think it may have been the worst match I've witnessed in years. Understand it was crappy conditions against a team that would do anything to get a point, but as the home team, I expect so much better. As for Norwich next week, I'm petrified. Cobbold Massive. I am also interested in your Cobbold experience. I sat in the Cobbold stand yesterday, Dave.
Why?
Just mix it up. Mix it up. Go ahead and tear it up.
Haven't you got a season ticket in the t'other stand?
Yeah, I just move around it. I just phone up and change my seat every week.
I see.
I liked it actually.
Can you do that?
Yeah, and the thing I don't like about the Pioneer is you have to walk all the way round to get in, and then you have to faff about out the back.
Laziness.
No, it's called expedience, Dave. It's the Cobbold. You literally walk off the street and you're in your seat within about whatever.
Yeah, good point.
And there was a very cute little old man next to me who talked to me a lot, which was
lovely. So which block were you in? Not D block or something?
Just behind D block.
Very good.
There, yeah. Stubbsy says, I hate to say it, but let's be honest. We're going to get one hell of a beating next Sunday. It could even be a 4-0. Oh, God. Wow.
No, Norwich just don't score enough. They won't be 4-0 against them.
Your friend Dave from Lloyd's, Michael, says, absolutely dreading next Sunday. It's going to be a thumping. Peter B, appalling yesterday. Lack of passion from crowd, players and clubs. Something needs to change. Expecting us to beat Nodge, just the sort of thing McCarthy does with his back against the wall. Rich Cook, paint watches Mick dry. Not looking forward to them up the road. Now, David, get in touch. He's got John Peel as his he might be a John Peel aficionado, which you'd be interested in, Dave.
Certainly would.
Yet again, we head into a derby in a glum mood after patchy recent results contrasting from the decent results from a tough run of fixtures. They're decent results. So Optimist says 2-1 Ipswich, but I'm dreading them going 1-up after 52 minutes, followed by us huffing and puffing for the rest of the game. Graham Blackburn from the Naked Football Show has tweeted us, Dave. We're in on it.
Wow.
Everybody subscribe if you don't to the Naked Football Show.
Class.
Expectation for Norwich, and he's put that funny emoji of a man kind of holding his face like that.
Yeah.
Graham will be there. Look out for Graham.
He'll be there.
He'll be drunk, won't he?
He'll be down a waterfront somewhere in a bar beforehand.
What he'll do, Dave, he'll be drunk from the night before. He'll go on Saturday night. He'll be drunk, and then he'll just have to top it up in the morning.
I think he'll be in the dub Saturday evening. Get the last train. Walk up the station with some tinnies. Get the last train to Norwich.
He'll be in the Holiday Inn near the ground in the mini
Holiday Inn near the ground, mini bar on it.
Graham, we love you. We
love him. We do love him.
Stephen Fuchs, you couldn't tell which team was mid-table and which team was bottom of the league.
Why?
Don't Ipswich practice passing to a blue shirt during the week? I totally agree. Joe Fairs. I genuinely don't think Ipswich will find a manager who can recruit as well as Mick does on a limited budget, but it's abundantly clear he can no longer get the best out of the squad he's assembled. Time for a freshen up at ITFC. Club needs a lift. Hashtag Mick out. And let's finish here. Noel, who we love. Is Noel Baker, has he superseded Noel from hearsay? Is he above Noel Gallagher or Noel Edmonds yet? In our favourite Noels?
He might even be above Gallagher. He'll never be above Edmonds.
No. Keep him coming though, Noel. Says, yesterday, cold, pissed off and miserable. Burton's new acquisitions have made them into a tidy side. We have efficiency and effort in midfield, but desperately lack creativity. Sections of the home crowd started to booze in the first 20 minutes. Nasty and toxic. Guys, I'm still scrolling there. There's like a whole load more tweets. Thank you so much for getting them in. We're overwhelmed, as we say every time.
I think we expected that, didn't we? It was summed it up. Summed it up pretty perfectly, really. Is what else were they say? And I honestly thought, Burton were very neat and tidy. And if they probably won't, but if they can keep playing like that, and now they've got the lad in midfield, you could see them sort of winning a few more points. To see it.
James Dack has been spotted swimming in money since his super win.
Tell you what, if he had a bet on our game yesterday, I bet he's not swimming in it now. Go on.
That's the rules, Dave. You've got to bet on Ipswich. That's the rules of the Nasdaq. It's Nasdaq time. So follow at JamesDack_99. You know the rules, Dave. 2 £5 bets, one on Ipswich, one on the Championship. Can I just say, in the East Anglian Daily Times thing, I had Ipswich down for 2-0, so I would have lost for if I was Nasdaqing. Nas Blooming, we come the Bloomberg. Is that
Bloomberg? Yes.
There you go. Yeah. I'm not allowed to gamble that, am I? On the Ipswich game, James, he went for an Ipswich win and one or other team not to score. So basically, Ipswich win to 0. And his treble, Dave. Forest to beat Hull. No, sorry. I'd have told you off if you'd have done that to our expensive.
You tell me. Yeah, go on.
Barnsley beat Sheffield Wednesday. No. James, what are you doing? Come on,
James.
Fulham to beat Bolton.
He was up there, wasn't he? Last week, he's up there.
He's going to go for like 3-0 next week. The heart's going to rule ahead, isn't it? I'm
trying to think what was Mark Murphy say on Life's a Pitch. I forecast a big win. Big win.
Is that what he said?
He says it most weeks. Kevin Beattie always says 3-1. Kevin Beattie's a bit like Stat. Stat always goes for 4-2. Kev, where's it going to go? 3-1, Mark. 3-1.
Oh, okay.
But Stat was very active yesterday on Twitter after the game.
Yeah, he spent a few weeks of being nice to everybody, didn't he? He's got
the Twitter gloves were off yesterday. Stat, he was right back into it, wasn't he?
Well, that's a good little setup there, Dave. We're going to the Renegade Statman, our wonderful partner, Dave's partner on this week in ITFC history. Which, whatever you think about him, you should listen to because. He's different in the flesh, isn't he, Statman? He's really nice chap.
I thought you were talking about me. He's a lovely chap, Stat.
He's a lovely chap.
Full of stats.
Remember, Twitter is not real life. But Statman says, easy, lads. If one GIF could sum up how the stat machine feels today, it would be the one of Alan Partridge shrugging his shoulders. Apathy rules. Whatever. Next Sunday, we go to Carrow Road looking to win the 12th place, 13th place playoffs. Which one of these two teams will truly be crowned as the pride of Anglia. Let's have a look at Mick McCarthy's away record for played. Oh my God, sorry, Statman. He always tells me off for butchering these. We're like 49 minutes in, so I'm just useless, aren't I?
What was he?
Let's read it again, Dave. Sorry.
Go on.
Let's have a look at Mick McCarthy's away record for games played on the Sabbath. Do you know what? Why I messed up? I was trying to think of a good Black Sabbath song to sing as we came
Paranoid.
in. Yeah, Paranoid's obviously the best one, isn't it? Iron
Yeah.
Man. Mick has played 6 league games away on a Sunday. The first was back in
Incredible.
September 2013. Town lost 2-0 at Wigan Athletic. The game was moved to accommodate Wigan's European involvement. Yeah, it seemed strange when I typed that out, how their stock has fallen. Mick McCarthy's record in the 6 games played on a Sunday is as follows. Played 6, won 0, drawn 3, lost 3,
Okay.
4-4 against 11. Not very encouraging at all. Here's why he's picked this stat out. The last time Town won an away league game on Sunday was in November 2009 when Roy Keane's Ipswich defeated Cardiff City 2-1. In that game, the Blues came from behind to win with second-half goals from Walters and Stead. The game was moved back to the Sunday as Wales entertained
Rugby.
Australia in the Rugby Union match at the
Rugby.
Millennium Stadium the day before.
Yeah.
Let's hope now. Now, you and I have seen Statman's spreadsheets. He has a little any other business column, doesn't he? I bet in that one it said game got moved back because of the rugby. You know? Let's hope the stat machine is more upbeat next weekend as Ipswich move back to winning ways with a 4-2 win over the Budgies. Peace out, Stat. And you can catch
Nice.
up with Dave and Statman every Wednesday for this week in ITFC history. An excellent lesson. That is. Are you ready for 2 little ducks, Dave?
Mm-hmm. Where was it last week? We were at Palace, weren't we?
I broke the record last week and scored 13. That's where we were.
You did, yes.
Yep.
You did. Very good, very good.
The bar
right,
has been set. Right, so everybody, the rules of 2 little ducks, and you can play at home because I'm going to do the plugs, which no one listens to anyway, while Dave's
plugging it. Yeah, go on.
getting his thoughts together. Dave, can you do me a favour just for the YouTubers? Can you move to your right about 6 inches? I can see your beautiful face better. There we go. Yeah, perfect. So the rules of 2 little ducks. We have taken a game from Ipswich Town's history. You can see how stupid I am. I'm playing this game against the guy who has a podcast called This Week in ITFC History. That doesn't make me that sensible, does it?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, okay.
So we take a game from Ipswich's history. Obviously, 22 players started the game.
I feel like I'm starting a game. I'm getting the pre-match nerves.
Yeah, I'm trying to build it up to make you more nervous so you don't beat my 13. I think you're going to do well this week, Dave.
Yeah, go on.
I think you are. So anyway, Dave has to name as many of the 22 players that started, hence 2 little ducks, but you can't have a wrong answer. So if you say 5 right answers and then 1 wrong answer, you're out and your score is 5. Are you ready for me to reveal the game, Dave?
Go.
Wednesday, 26th of February, 1992, FA Cup, 5th round replay, Liverpool 3, Ipswich Town 2. Okay? Not the home game, the away game, the 3-2, which we have done a watch along, which you can find in the archives. So we're going to give Dave a bit of time, in which instance I will be doing the plugs to say that you can follow us on Twitter at Blue Monday ITFC. You can follow Dave on Twitter at DavidDiamond3, Statman at Chompex3, and myself at Benjamin Bloom. Please also subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube and give us a thumbs up and all that jazz to push us up the algorithms a little bit there. You can follow us on Facebook.com/Blue Monday ITFC also. There is talk of a Blue Monday outing to Bristol City whenever that game is. So if anyone's interested in coming... When, Dave, sorry?
March 17th.
March 17th. If anyone's interested in coming to Bristol City with us, we might rent a large vehicle and have a little fun day outing there if Dave's son Jordan not sick in the back. And what else have I got to plug? Acast, iTunes, 5-star review, Din Dan Do. Are you ready, Dave, to give me your answers? 2 little ducks. Let me just read out the game again. Wednesday, 26th February.
Go wrong straight away.
Just go for the goal scorers, Dave. There's 5 goals. 1992. FA Cup 5th round replay. Ipswich 3, Liverpool 2. Notice I volunteered the score.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
right, you ready, Dave?
Yeah. So, Dizelle.
1.
Jason. Gavin Johnson.
2. That's unstoppable. Take a bell, son.
Steve Whitten.
Because he crossed that ball, didn't he? Look at the bend on that ball. 3.
Jan Mulby.
4. Come on, Dave.
Steve McManaman.
Yes, 5. Come on.
Shut up. Shut up.
Come on,
shut
5.
up. Because he now see this is David Linnigan,
6. Yes, he's there.
Mickey Stockwell.
7. 13's the number, Dave. Come on.
I'm not going to get the 13. Craig Forrest.
8. Come on.
All right, hang on. I've got to take my time. Take my time.
Yeah, take your time. Don't let me rush you.
I am taking my time. John Barnes.
No, John Barnes is your goose. He must have been injured.
He played in the first games. I threw the ball back to him.
Wow. Good shout. So, Dave, you're going to
I
love...
know, really. I'm Mike Marsh.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Mike Marsh was there. Can I just say, this Ipswich team is brilliant, Dave.
Okay.
Forrest, Johnson, Thompson...
Johnny Walk? Thompson.
Yeah, let me go through the team.
Oh, you go for it.
Yeah. Forrest... So Johnson, Thompson, Stockwell, Walk, Linnigan, Milton, your mate Dave, Palmer, Witten, Dazelle, Kiwami. What a great team that is. And some of the names in this Liverpool team, Dave. Grobbelaar, Jones, Harkness, Nicol, Mark Wright, Mike Marsh, Dean Saunders, Ray Houghton, Mark Walters, Jan Mulby, Steve McManaman. What'd you get? 8?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
God, why are you unhappy with that? That was good.
I convinced, but I should have got more Ips. I should have got Kiwami and stuff. But you sort of swap about the teams, don't you? I'm sure. Yeah, obviously Barnes. No, obviously he didn't. Maybe he didn't play in the. I'm sure he played in the first game. But I know we're talking about the second game, so obviously maybe.
Yeah,
good game, mate. Great game. What a game.
Thanks, man.
Really, I mean, that was obviously in our promotion year, and always remember for that. I mean, the cross as much as the goal was ridiculous, wasn't it? And also the quality of obviously Mulby's stupid free kick at the end. Heartbreak for us, but just quality, wasn't it? Unbelievable.
Do you want to talk about the local derby next week against Norwich City, Dave? It's going to be a long week.
I did a breakdown this. So it's 105th derby.
Okay.
Town 43. Norwich 41. It's getting close. 20
like
draws.
20 draws is okay.
Last win, April 2009, which everyone says Giovanni Santos. Since then, we've played 9. We have lost 6. We've drawn 3. This is counting the 2 playoff games. We've scored 6, and we have conceded 19. 9 of those are in one season, obviously. Last win at Carrow Road, February 2006. And they went on a really poor run, didn't they? Because I believe when they beat us, they perhaps even got in. I know it was very, very early on, middle of.
Which season are you talking about, Dave?
Now I'm talking about the season now.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
After they beat us, I know because I was in hospital. It was a day after I bust my arm up, so it was like October the 21st or 2nd, like that. I'm pretty sure that put them in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure it did, just on the cusp of it. They went a really poor one after that game. Took 2 points for the next 7 games. Since Christmas, getting good form. 8 games, won 5, drew 2, lost 1. Only scored 31 goals all season. But their home form, and again, I just looked at home and away form, really odd season they're having. Their home form puts them in 17th. Won 5, drew 5, lost 5. And they're 8th for away form. Won 7, drew 3, lost 6. And they've won some brilliant games away. They won a lot, Borough, they won Bristol City. One that really won at some good places. And it all revolves around Maddison. 10 goals, 8 assists.
So, Dave, I was at Norwich 1, Brentford 2 on December 22nd.
Yeah.
There's 2 caveats to that. One is that Brentford keep possession the whole time, and Ipswich are not going to do that. And the other is that they still had the Pritchard-Maddison situation. And there's no coincidence. Since they've gone with Maddison and not Pritchard and sold Pritchard to Huddersfield, Maddison's been fabulous, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he really has. It was almost if they bought the although they had a thumping win today. Whether he played today, I'm assuming he did. They beat Bournemouth 4-1 today. Next, Josh Murphy, 8, 1 assist. They just lost, and he was in some quite good form. They're just like that tribal for the season. Apparently out for the season with a knee injury. Yesterday, you just sort of took note. They started with Gunn. They playing it's almost a 3-4-1. So they started with Gunn, Hanley, Zimmerman, Closer, 3. Then a 4 of Reed, Tete, Leitner and Lewis. Obviously Reed and Lewis being the sort of wing backs. And then definitely Maddison in that 3, whatever you want to call it, number 10, roving commission role with Oliveira and the other Murphy up front. Significantly yesterday, no Wes Hoolahan on the bench, but obviously they're saving him up for next week. He's just our nemesis, isn't he?
Good player. Yeah. It's interesting though, Dave. The Ipswich matched up well against Wolves with 3 at the back a couple of times. They did push on the wide guys, but 2 up front sounds.
You think
lot
next
to
week
cope with.
you'll go with 3 at the back?
What? Mick will? Nah.
No.
Fark will. Yeah, I think.
Oh, Fark. Yeah.
No, Mick won't change from 4-2-3-1. What do you think team-wise, Dave? Assuming you've got McGoldrick available and Webster available as well.
I can't see the team being a whole lot different.
He's not going to alter, Dave. Sorry to interrupt you. He's not going to alter that back 7 of Bart, Spence, Carter Vickers.
I don't
Chambers,
see that. No, I don't see that.
And then the 2 in front.
The only thing I can see is, which was the switch yesterday, is don't shoot me down. Is perhaps Sears in for Selena.
Wow, that will not go down well, will it?
No, it won't go down well. But just because of the perceived work ethic, perhaps perceived better positional sense, and general energetic up and down. Do you see that? That wouldn't surprise me. Would that surprise you? It won't go down well.
That would surprise me. I think,
okay.
I think he sees McGoldrick and Selena as his match winners, and he's going to want to play one or other.
No. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me. No. Admittedly, when he did it last week, it was Sunderland.
I can understand why he would do it, but Christ. So. We've already said Brentford passed through them. Ipswich are not going to do that. Is there any chance of a backs to the wall 1-0 Waghorn getting one of those free kicks?
They're going to. A team like that with the boy who's so good. He is obviously so good. We're just going to consistently give the ball back to him, aren't we? We're going to give the ball back to him, like we did in the home game, and he will. He's that good. I mean, to me, he seemingly is. He's going to. There will be a moment where he gets that chance, and let's hope he doesn't take it.
Is there any chance of
He's almost having a look at this 10 and 8. Look at this, 10 goals, 8 assists. He's almost having a Tom Lawrence effect for them this season,
nearly there,
as he had from
any chance of Connolly watching him? Literally a hatchet job.
Well, this is Jordan said about that. He said perhaps why would we not go man to man, and he would be the man to do it.
Yeah. So there's an argument for dropping Gleeson, sticking Gleeson in the team and freeing Connolly up, but that means you have to lose one of Waghorn. I mean, Mick doesn't mind losing Ward ever, does he? So so that's a good shout actually, Dave. You could see Connolly in front of, although Skews did it at Derby, he was brilliant, and he did it at Cardiff as well. You could have Skews in front of the back 4 with Gleeson and Connolly. Waghorn would go back out to the right, where he did score a load of goals from. Selena left, and then Garner up front.
You said this last week. Again, you wouldn't be surprised to see a midfield 3 next week of Gleeson.
I thought he was going to do that, but don't you think he would have done that by now if he was?
I don't know. Do you think he couldn't have got away with that yesterday, could he? All right, he could have got away with anything at the end.
Dave, he could have done a single substitution and tried it. He could have took Ward out and put Gleeson in, and tried just to see how.
I mean, I'm glad he didn't, because the one bright spot really for me was, as you said, was Carriot and the little sort of the little cameo 20-25 minutes he had there yesterday. But so what's your journey next week?
Can we beat them? Can we keep a clean sheet? We can keep a clean sheet.
Well, look.
That's possible.
Can you see us? The similar scenario is, forget Wolves, going to Wolves and doing that. You saw us do it at Derby. Did we get lucky at Derby? It was backs to the wall, wasn't it? And you said Hughes did it at Derby. Did that job?
He didn't man mark anybody, but he sat in the hole. Yeah, he said you can trust.
So it can be done.
You can trust. But Dave, the difference is that the chaos factor of a local derby wasn't there.
No.
You know what it's like. And these players are not elite players. Elite players, the atmosphere doesn't get to them. They've got a blooming ice in their veins. These players are affected by, this type of occasion. Some of them rise to it, and some of them don't.
What's your days? You got your sister up there and stuff. Are you just what are you doing? You're not
I'm
going up
just
the
up.
night.
I'm just up for the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in and out as quickly as I can. But
I
we will be speaking to Mr. Jack Reed from Talk Norwich City at some
I
point.
was going to say that. Oh,
At
great
some
stuff.
point
Oh, that would be good. That would
this
be
week.
good.
He was great last time, and
Oh, he was brilliant. Oh
I
no,
know,
and he's,
I know a lot
I,
of people give him a lot of abuse on YouTube just because he's a Norwich fan, but he's good at what he does.
oh, mate, I like his stuff. You know, yeah. I sometimes will slip. You know, particularly if they're lost, I always quite like to have a little. I don't watch if they've won, but
no
yeah,
one
I like
watches
to see what's
Arsenal
going
fan
on.
TV when Arsenal have won, do they?
Oh
Crikey.
man, no.
Can we do it, Dave?
Yeah, we can. Yes, we can, but. Oh, mate, we need to show a lot. And we will. You know, we'll show a lot more just because of the occasion and things than we did yesterday. But we will give possession away because that's how we play. But we do need to take better care of the ball next week. We do. We can't just give it away as we did yesterday.
Very
you know,
interesting.
we do, don't we? We can't because they've got better play. There's better players. All right, they've only scored 31 goals this season, but they're a hell of a lot better players in that team than we saw against us yesterday, for instance. So we've got to take more care with the ball and just hope the fullbacks just have a much better game. You know, be not more solid, but just more comfortable on the ball. You know.
Spence crossed to Knudsen for the goal last time.
Oh, come on, we'd have some more of that. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, a point next week wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
Tell you what, a bad loss, but we've said it before. You know, how many times have we come up? You know, have we gone into a game after rubbish like it was yesterday? Whenever he needs to pull out a result, every time he seems to do it.
Oh, please now, please now,
God, now.
please
you know, and
now.
Don't forget, Ben, it's like 5 days between now and it's no 6 days. You know, Maddison might tweak a hamstring in training. Who knows?
Oh wow!
Not that I wouldn't want to wish ill of him because he's a fabulous. No doubt about it. You know, I want to see it'd be a good game. But yeah, that would make it easier for us. But I'm getting nervous. I'm not even going. I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. To be fair.
Yeah, butterflies again. Well, let's try and enjoy the build up.
Yeah.
Be careful on social media because Suffolk and Norfolk police are actually watching Twitter this week. So don't be an idiot on Twitter. You know, enjoy, like we always say, enjoy the rivalry. It is what it is. Don't be silly.
Do you think they're monitoring Statman's bashing of Mick McCarthy?
No. Statman's very good at not being left holding the baby on Twitter. He words his tweets very carefully, doesn't he? So he's like, well, I didn't say that. Yeah, but look, let's all enjoy it. I'm going to be, for once, because I'm a snob, I'm going to be in the away stand. So if anyone sees me next week, do come and say hello if you're a podcast listener. I know sometimes people are like, oh, I saw you, but I didn't want to bother you. Dave and I, if you see either of us at the game, do come and say hi.
Yeah, and they do from time to time. Also, the Millwall fans were coming up with some good looky likeys for you, weren't they?
That's pathetic. Well? It's pathetic. Who's Jay Rayner?
Jay Rayner is Jay Rayner. I saw that one. He's a food critic.
Okay, but the lead singer of Nickelback, I mean, whatever.
No, that was a cheap one.
What's the song of the week, Dave? We had some good ones today, didn't we?
I can't remember what was it. That got to be the Hives.
Yeah, okay.
Hate to say I told you so. Surely, yeah.
Well, we're gonna say goodbye now. Let us know how you got on, Two Little Ducks. Keep in touch during the week. Dave, little surprise, the brilliant at Ipswich has been working on something ahead of Derby game,
cool.
YouTube wise. So we should have something.
It was Rich who worked on the montage with you, yeah?
The Marcus Stewart. Yeah, so do check out on this channel, top 10 Marcus Stewart goals, and there's going to be something before the Norwich game also.
Which a guy behind me was talking about yesterday, and he said, oh, I love Mark, because someone was saying, oh yeah, my other lad, he's a bit older, loved Darren Bent, was heartbroken when he went, and his other lad who sits behind him said, oh, he felt the same about Marcus Stewart. He said, you see that brilliant thing on YouTube this week about Marcus Stewart's montage.
Oh,
so how my mate put that together?
There you go.
Clever guy, Rich. Clever guy.
Great stuff, yeah. Follow him at Ipswich on Twitter. Dave's gone. He's left.
I'm still here.
You have the last word, and I'll press stop.
All looking forward to next Sunday. Let's hope we don't get hammered. Bye.